Hey everyone, I'm Hipster Trash and this is Reviewtion. Today, I'm going to be talking about a wonderful little surf pop album called Goosebumps by Boyscott. Let me tell you, that album title is very fitting because these tracks absolutely bump. Boyscott is the project of Scott Ermo, and they're currently based out of Nashville, Tennessee. The songs on the album had been floating around his mind for a few years until he met a bunch of lovely people from Memphis, Tennessee who helped him record the songs last summer. What they ended up with is essentially a perfect surf pop album. In my mind, nothing described this album better than the album cover itself. It was made by Scott from an old postcard he found. The cover features a ship cutting its way through a lake with a backdrop of pine trees. The best part of it, though, is that spelled out on the side of the ship in black letters, R.I.P. Just like the music found on the album, at first it seems like a beautiful summer day on the water, but once you look a little closer, there are darker elements. When I listen to this album, I can't help thinking of lakes surrounded by vast woods, sweet summer days, cold ocean beaches, and the smell of a campfire in the distance. To me, this album screams summer, but more in the way a quirky indie movie might portray it instead of shout-along pop music bangers. The whole album occupies a cohesive sonic space. Each song is distinct, but they flow incredibly well together. Even though this is only Boyscott's first album, they've already found a distinct sound all their own. The songs are washed out without sounding muddled, and they managed to pack almost as many hooks into this album as might be found on a fishing boat. Ha! The album opens with the propulsive Sleepwalk, which starts with a bubbling synth that's soon joined by some glitched out drums. As the song goes on, the layers of the instruments only build, with the real drums soon added and multiple jangly guitar riffs that all build to a wonderful crescendo. Throughout the album, as in this song, Ellen Ivy McGurk proves to be Boyscott's secret weapon, as she both harmonizes with Scott and trades off main vocal duties, which prove to elevate the songs past what might have just been another lonely guy singing about how hard love can be. Next up is the song I first heard from Boyscott, and it's the one that got me hooked on the band, Blonde Blood, which in my mind is just a perfect little indie pop song. Everything about it is catchy. From the intro guitar riff that mimics the verse melody to the incredibly addicting to sing chorus, this song shines. Beyond the music of this song, the lyrics are incredibly honest. At its roots, this is a song that deals with the age-old topic of crushing on someone. The lyrics become bitter, saying, "I might act like I'm an asshole. Mean guys always get close to you." However, the narrator remains hopeful with the chorus that sticks in your head for days. "So if you want to, you know I want to." It's a simple sentiment, again elevated by Ellen's vocals, but one that many people can relate to. As much as you might hate crushing on someone, you'll still leave the door open for them anyways, in case they change their mind. Scott says the song is about a vampire though, so maybe I'm just reading too far into it. Either way, I can't wait until the song is being blasted at summer parties around the world. On Nova Scotia 500, Boyscott really starts to get spooky. It opens by punching you in the face with a sparkling riff and nonsensical words over a melody that will be stuck in your head for days. I don't know how to skateboard because I have absolutely no sense of balance, but if I did, I would want to skate down the street on a sunny California day to this song. The lyrics start off sounding like a children's book with references to Cadillac Mountain and Friendship Bay, which, incidentally, are real places. But then the story takes a darker turn, and the narrator talks about discovering a body floating in the waves. Softly singing, "Nova Scotia bones, I found them all alone." I'm a sucker for songs with contrast between happy music and dark lyrics, so this song absolutely delivers on that front. Marco Polo opens with a jaunty acoustic guitar and a drum part that makes you want to dance, or at least bob up and down awkwardly too. Speaking of drums, I should just say that throughout the album, John Lewandowski, Boyscott's drummer, perfectly ornaments the other instrumentation with the beats he chooses to use. He's a master of knowing how to build up a song with subtle changes that always make sure the song is propelled forward. Good job, John. Woo! They just released a music video for this song that features Scott and the band goofing it up on a sunny summer afternoon with a bunch of friends, which is exactly what should be happening when this song is playing. Singing Down is the instrumental track of the album, which honestly showcases the band's musical chops without being flashy. It has a great flow to it and fittingly sinks down to a heavier sound as the song progresses without losing its bubbliness. I can easily envision this underscoring the opening scene of the next feel-good summer indie movie take your local tiny artsy movie theater. Honestly, by the end of the song, it just makes me want to hop in a pool. R.I.P. Sophie Moore is one of the more personal songs on the album, with lyrics that deal with the ending of a romantic relationship. In the second verse, he remembers a day where they went hiking together, and Sophie carves their names into an oak tree, and then carves R.I.P. next to them, most likely as an ironic joke, but then in hindsight it comes true in regards to their romantic relationship. It's a bittersweet song, but it seems like maybe by the end he's come to be okay with its end, and has maybe reached peace with himself and Sophie about it all. According to Scott, Killer Whales is based on a whaling novel he read. It talks about a sailor going off to sea and his lover waiting for him to come back home. Although it's in that context in this song, I think this hits home with anyone who has tried to be in a long-distance relationship, especially the ending sentiment about his disbelief in stories where they waited forever and ever to be with the ones they loved. There are only 2 verses in the next song, Lake House, but it captures the sense of the whole album with its contrast between dark themes and summery vibes. The transition from talking about death in the first verse to trying to forget that death with skinny dipping says a lot about how people sometimes deal with loss. Also, there's something here about something something, water being renewal, something something, but I don't have to go into that here. All these lyrics come wrapped in a reassuring melody that makes both death and reckless summertime living seem okay. The next song will be familiar to anyone who has crushed hard on someone. Just looking at the lyrics, it seems like you're about to listen to an angsty pop-punk song. But this track is still filled with the same surfy summer feelings that permeate the rest of the album. I asked your friends where the hell you've been. Well, they really shut me down. It ends with a repeated plea to let me be right there. That sounds so genuinely sincere, you can't help but feel for him. However, sandwiched in between, he says, let me in, like he's some ghoul come from the outside. That makes you wonder just how harmless he is. It even gives me some goosebumps to hear it. Fittingly, the last song ends with the lyrics, don't you feel so bad, which in a way is a mission statement for this whole album. Despite talking about themes from death to lost love, all the songs carry a glimmer of hope, whether musically or in the lyrics. There's a false ending to this song, and a warm synth comes in from the silence to start building up the rest of the instruments in a crescendo, until it ends suddenly. The last musical moments feel like the crest of a big wave, since the whole album up to this point has ebbed and flowed so perfectly like a sunny summer's day and a night on the beach. This makes sense. Overall, I give this album a spooky ghost and a guy surfing on a wave. So, go grab your favorite Halloween mask, your skateboard, and a honey, and head down to the water with this album goosebumping in your car. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you could smash that MFing subscribe button and like the video. It would mean a lot to me. Catch you on the flip side, hippie dips.